How did that come to be? Well, you have to understand a little bit about this country bumpkin when he was 17 years old, going out in the woods and having a theophany. And his name was Joseph Smith. You got to understand something about that. What positions Mormonism kind of unique when it comes to comparison to other world faiths is that its genesis is so recent in history, and that Mormons are incessant record keepers, right? It was one of Joseph's early revelations commanding John Whitmer to keep a record of history for the church. And John Whitmer was the first historian of the church, and the RLDS turned Community of Christ Historical Association is the John Whitmer Historical Association, because for whatever reason, Mormons have always been, from that time forward, very incessant record keepers. And that's everything from their own personal histories to temple ordinances and what they're doing there, to record and account books, like everything. It's amazing how much has been preserved from Mormon heritage, and they're comparative to other religions. Very little survives of those. So to understand the human phenomena from an anthropological perspective of humans starting religions, why do these things happen? What cultural factors contribute to the start of a religion? Joseph Smith and the early Mormon movement hold a lot of lessons for people who are outside of the faith, and of course for people who are inside the faith. There is the belief component that, Joseph Smith was chosen by God, that this is a restoration of the gospel, so on and so forth. So there's the added extra motivation for members of the church that they want to know more about their faith. And in order to do that, oftentimes they have to study the history of the church in order to understand how these all of these practices and all these ordinances came into existence, right? There's a lot to learn from how humans work and the sociology of humans in large collectives, and how they operate of insular groups competing with outside forces. There's just a lot of lessons and trends to take from the history of Mormonism.